Our students are the future. How we advance innovation and impact and approach equity in their classrooms will determine how we thrive as a world community. The status quo just won't cut it. That's why we're here to break the grade. Hello, breakers and difference makers. I'm Josh Chernikoff, host of How I Broke That. I'm a two-time entrepreneur in the education space, and I've successfully exited both of those companies. I've experienced my fair share of breaks in my life, and I'm here to bring my signature approach to my new show, Breaking the Grade. I'm embarking on this special journey alongside my good friend and mentor, John Gamba, Director of Innovative Programs and Entrepreneur in Residence at Penn GSE. In our podcast, you'll hear from emerging business owners in the education space who are working to transform education as we know it. Tune in as we hear about industry trends, unique principles and practices, and the attempts that have and haven't worked for our grade-breaking guests. So fellow entrepreneurs and educators, what do you think? Are you ready to take a hammer to the education space and break the grade? Welcome to Breaking the Grade. Welcome to Breaking the Grade. Today, we're talking about one thing, one word, headline. We're talking about your headline in your LinkedIn profile. Yes, we care so much about the headline in your LinkedIn profile that we are going to do a whole show about the headline in your LinkedIn profile. Because most founders treat their headline in their LinkedIn profile like a resume. I'm the CEO of. I help schools improve. I'm passionate about education. None of that stops the scroll. And we want to stop the scroll. Here's the truth. Your headline isn't your job title. It might have been a few years ago, but your headline isn't your job title. And for people who have been through the Ed Sales Elevation experience, they learn that in the first 5 to 10 minutes of our 12-week course. Your headline is a conversion tool. It's the first sentence your buyers read, and the one that decides if they keep scrolling or if they stop. And if you've ever wondered why your profile views don't turn into DMs, it's probably not your posts. It's your headline. And today, we're breaking down how education founders, especially ones in the Ed Sales Elevation experience, are building $100,000 in pipeline from 8 words or less. Yes, your headline should maybe be 8 words or less. If it's going to be more, it better be darn compelling. So inside the Ed Sales Elevation experience, we have seen this again and again. Founders with incredible products, life-changing missions, but zero traction on LinkedIn. And many of them have surrounded themselves with some of the other subject matter experts and their perfect buyers in their network, and they're still getting no traction. They'd post, they'd comment, they connect, and nothing, because their headline isn't doing anything for them at all. It didn't hook anybody. Here's a real example. My friend and my client, Edwin Blanton. Edwin is at the University of Texas, San Antonio, their professional and continuing education department. He's a rock star. He's elite, but his profile didn't show that at all. His old headline was broad and academic and invisible. And we refined his message and we refined his headline in the Ed Sales Elevation Experience. We were doing this a few minutes in to our 12-week program. We worked one-on-one. And here's what his headline is now. I help San Antonio area employers using proven UTSA professional and continuing education methods to upskill and retain their employees. Then he goes on to say he's the president, Society for Experiential Education, Community Engagement Executive, and he's a Rotarian. So that change that we made, and especially around retain their employees, because that is the result that employers are looking for from Edwin and his team, led to new contracts, including Fort Sam Houston, because Edwin's headline instantly tells people who he helps, how he helps them, and why it matters. And most importantly, the result that he gets them. Then there's Paul King. He's a tutoring founder in New York City. He's a client of ours. He's a wonderful member of the Ed Sales Elevation Experience community. Paul's old pitch was classic. Here we go. No kidding. We do tutoring. After coaching, he refined this into a laser, and I mean laser, focused headline. Quote, I help high school principals in New York City increase their Algebra 1 Regents pass rates with our 20-week tutoring accelerator. Contracted NYC DOE vendor, 5-year math-related services, MTAC. So not only does he explain what he does, increase Algebra 1 Regents pass rates, he talks about that he's an NYC DOE vendor, and that's huge. That's not just a headline, guys. That's a proof statement. Every word screams relevance and results for Paul and for Edwin. Does your headline say that? The right headline, as you can see with Paul and Edwin doesn't introduce you, it positions you. So by the end of this episode, you'll know what makes a headline scroll stopping, the 3-part framework for writing a headline that drives the DMs, how your headline fuels your Raise Your Hand campaign, which I'll explain, why credibility does not equal clarity on LinkedIn, and the 5 words education buyers actually click on. So first of all, let's talk about the headline hierarchy. Easy for me to say. We're going to go from who you are to what you deliver. Most founders start with identity. CEO, founder, consultant, dreamer. Buyers don't care who you are. I'm sorry to say that. They care what changes when you show up in their life. You got to shift from founder of Bright Path Learning to we raise graduation rates for rural schools. It's not about you, guys. It's about the result. Think of it this way. The headline is your pickup line. Think of your headline like courting. The person already showed some interest. They're looking at your profile. You passed that first impression test. Mazel tov. Now it's your moment to speak, and you better speak clearly. Done right, they may ask to learn more and potentially do business with you. Your headline must instantly communicate 1, your perfect client, 2, their big problem, 3, how you help them solve it. You've got 220 characters, so you better be very clear. Clarity wins. This is the 3E headline framework that we use. I help insert ideal client achieve, insert your help them achieve through insert your signature solution or approach. Okay, let me review that here. Let me say it in a little bit different words. I help who, using what method, get which results. I help who, using what method, get which results. Is that what your headline sounds like? Here's some examples. I help superintendents boost Algebra 1 pass rates through data-driven tutoring. Cool. I help principals cut teacher turnover in half with our retention playbook. I help higher ed leaders scale student support without adding staff. Those are some great examples. Or you've got Edwin, or you've got Paul King. Those headlines, they sell outcomes, not job titles. There's an 8-word rule that we believe in the Ed Sales Elevation Experience that I want to talk about. Your headline should absolutely pass this test. If someone reads only your first 8 words, do they understand what you solve? If somebody only reads 8 words of your headline, do they understand what you solve? Weak. Helping schools improve student outcomes through innovation. That's weak. Here's strong. We boost Algebra 1 pass rates in underperforming schools. We boost Algebra 1 pass rates in underperforming schools. At that moment, if they never hear from you again, God forbid, they know exactly how you can help them. 8 words, 1 promise, no jargon. So let me recap the 3E headline framework. Every winning headline inside the Ed Sales Elevation Experience hits these 3. I guarantee it. Clarity, the pain you solve, not your product name. Credibility, the proof that you've done it before. Curiosity, the phrase that makes them want to click. Every winning headline inside 3E hits these elements. Why does this work? Let's get into a little bit of LinkedIn psychology. Your headline isn't a pitch. It's what we like to call inside the Ed Sales Elevation Experience a pattern interrupt. Superintendents scroll past noise all day. So do principals if they're your perfect buyer. So do teachers if they're your perfect buyer. So do presidents of colleges if they're your perfect buyer. Your headline should stop them cold. Your headline should stop them cold, not because it's clever, but because it's clear. When buyers see themselves in your headline, they stop. When they stop, they click. When they click, you start winning. So there's a few episodes I want to reference here for you guys. Stop pitching and start proving. How proof beats potential. The signature solution, how to package your offer into one system. And the raise your hand campaign, how your headline fuels demand. Those are great episodes to listen to from Breaking the Grade. So if your headline reads like a resume, I got news for you. And it's probably not breaking news for you. You're invisible. If it reads like a result, you're irresistible. So here's your challenge. Write one new headline using the Ed Sales Elevation Experience framework. Test it on 5 connections. If they can repeat it back, it works. Post with confidence because clarity is credibility. And here's my last challenge for you. Message me on LinkedIn, guys. You know Catherine. You've heard about Catherine, the CEO of Go Pursue. I got to know Catherine through an event online, and she wanted to work on her headline. I said, go ahead, message me. We worked on it back and forth, and shoot, Catherine and I have become friends. We even hit golf balls together here in Washington, D.C. So your headline might be the start of a few different beautiful things. One of them is your clarity and your perfect client saying, I want to learn more. And maybe it'll lead to golf balls with Coach Josh in Washington, D.C. Transformations are coming for you if you follow what we say about your headline. You got this. Thanks for listening, Breakers.